like having the light up there. I normally don't have it on, but it is a little dark out today, so I've got it on, but kind of doesn't look great in the background. Anyway, I'm Gabriel Bassett. We're going to take otherwise dirty data and clean it up a bit. The way we do that is through various community database issues. These issues, there's thousands of them, are news articles about publicly disclosed breaches. And then we take the news article and we're going to code it into a standardized data structure called Varus using this web app at this address here. It's a pretty straightforward process, and so let's get started. Let's see, what do we have first? eBay privacy breach exposes customer names on Google. Okie dokie. This one's from 2017. Looks like it was assigned to Mark and then removed. Okay, and what appears to be a major breach of customer privacy, eBay has exposed customers' real and first and last names, as well as items they've purchased on Google. While the idea is that your real name, blah, 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 predict where you left a reader who provided someone with news tips told us as both an eBay seller. Okay, are there details here? Day after we informed eBay and Google of the privacy breach, a Google spokesman said, "We learned about the issue, we took immediate action," and this is Google. "Stop displaying all reviewer names from eBay. eBay is working closely with us. Reader tips us off over the weekend that he noticed the product review section of product pages on Google Shopping displayed a real customer name next to the review that was submitted to Google by eBay." Okay, so this is going to be a type of error, and it'll be like error misdelivery, because eBay was delivering personal data to Google instead of just UIDs. Okay, well, we can go back and code this one up. First thing we do is, I'm the one who did it. This happened in 2017, but December 2017, which is past our cutoff date. So it actually goes into the 2019 corpus instead of the 2018 corpus. I confirmed. We get the number. This gives us backwards traceability. And we'll also get the references. When it comes to DBIR years, we collect data on the from November 1st to October 31st of the next year. And so for the 2020 DBIR, we just had our cutoff for data on October 31st. Then now we're in the process of collecting the data from our contributors. So eBay was sending API along with customer reviews to Google for indexing, I guess, for something. It's not clear if it was, to me at least, if it was the indexing or they were actually delivering the data directly to Google, but I'm not sure it matters. There's not a lot of detail here, but there's not a lot to say. The incident, we really don't know when it happened. It was discovered in 2017, so we'll put that. Let's see, does it say anywhere how long it was going on? Google responded right away. So compromise is unknown, so we don't know how long this has been going on. Exfiltration, unknown. Discovery time, no, really exfiltration, we know. Compromise is unknown, but exfiltration, once you have access, is really, seconds, because it's just loading the web page with the content. Containment took hours, and so we'll say maybe 24, because it took sounded like a day or less. Notification happened 2019, 12/10. This was the day before this article. Okay, the timeline. The victim was eBay. And I wonder if eBay has a explicit company name. Let's see. To eBay Inc. I mean, I don't know. Company info. Yeah, eBay Incorporated. eBay for whatever reason. Okay, so really what we want to know are how many how many employees they have. And Google's been relatively good at doing that too. Approximately 14,000 globally. That's helpful. 10 to 25,000. And the industry, and I'm kind of curious to see what this comes up with, because I think it'd probably be an information NICS code, but there's a DUNS number for the company. NICS company profile page, NICS.com, which is not, NICS.com is not the government page, but we can look for it. Here they're classified as 454111, which would be retail, I think. 454111 electronics shopping. Yeah, I think they've moved beyond that. I think they're just non-store retailers. I think is a. I like that. Fitting direct. They kind of sell everything. So I'm gonna give them 454. Next Pro Cloud 454110 is what the site gave them. 454110, which would again be electronics mail shopping. Okay. Locations affected. We'll say one web app in the United States, which gives us a U.S. region, and CA. They are based in California, right? Yeah. Move that, and then victim. The action again is missed delivery. Why? And a lot of times we simply don't know why it was delivered. Like, did someone configure it or build the system wrong? Did someone set something wrong? Did someone, it was a manual thing? Like a lot of times we don't really have a lot of detail on the vector for errors. So we'll close that. Actor was clearly someone internal because they set it up. And there is no motive because it was unintentional. We don't really know anything else about the actor. The asset was certainly their web application. So their web application, we'll say it was just one of them. Cloud. Gosh, this was, even if we knew what it was today, I don't think we know it then. Certainly is IT versus being like an OT type situation. I don't think they really run a lot of OT. Attribute confidentiality, data disclosed, yes. Amount, we don't really know, but it was personal data of customers who did reviews. The data was stored. Transmit is for if it's stolen in transit, which is not really the case here. The data was not abused. I think this is going to be an interesting field to look at this year. Partner data, no. Maybe customer data, but not partner. Close the attributes. Targeted doesn't apply because it was an error, and so the discovery method was external by an unrelated third party, someone just browsing the internet. And the value chain doesn't apply because this was an error. Impact was insignificant. They just made a quick change and went away. This was a random assignment. A lot of times we don't code anything here but the event chain and for in the analysis status. So this was an error by an external actor on a server asset leading to a compromise of confidentiality, which makes it a breach. I did mark that up here, right? Attribute, confidentiality, yes, confirmed breach. We use data disclosure as the field that determines a breach or not. If it's yes, we call it a breach. If it's anything else, it's not a breach for us. And then we will save that. And then I don't have a window open for it, but here. We'll create a new Sublime window so that we can copy this off. It doesn't happen, it rarely happens, it's never happened on stream for me, knock on wood. But, you know, just in case something happens in the web app, it is not a bad idea to copy the data off into a text document. And it's not a big deal if you're working on one or two of them, but if like you've done a dozen, it's taking you several hours, it'd be unfortunate if the web app crashed or your browser crashed and cleared its local storage and you lost all your breaches. So I always copy them off, so we do that. And then the next is an ATM skimmer from 2017 as well. I may do some from the bottom because it feels like I've been doing a lot of older ones recently. In fact, I'm going to just skip this one and do the bottom ones. Oh, 15, 16, these are the newer ones. Okay, well, I'm not getting a lot of 19 then. Okay, well, come here, open this, and we'll see what we got. Skimmers are, they used to be very common. They seem to be getting less common. I have to go through this. More options, off. Save and exit. I don't need the video portion of this event. Oh my gosh, this website is horrible. Being assaulted. Okay, where's the actual article? Days after another was found at Tesco in Middleborough, a cash machine skimming device was found in a red car ATM machine. Same week, a similar one was discovered in a machine at a Tesco Express. Cleveland police have confirmed that TSB Bank on Redcar High Street reported High Street, yeah, not street, High Street. I know this is like, you know, do they think people will come, like this will draw people to their site? Like, after seeing this, I would never want to go to a site that had this many ads, just because there's like, it's impossible to acquire the content. You know, like if it wasn't the only reference, I would have gone somewhere else. Also, these are pretty small issues, so it's not like this gets reported in multiple outlets. So we'll call it 2018. Yeah, Twitter, you can always count on like the third one down being an ad. It's either the second or the third is always an ad. 2018 security incident confirmed. The GitHub number is 9844. That's a while ago. So we're working on 13s now. Reference, we have this one reference here. Summary, ATM skimmer. This is at a bank. So, okay, confidence, high as a skimmer. We know the way skimmers work. It's probably discovered relatively quickly if it was discovered due to physical discovery. This happened in 2017. And we'll give it the discovery date of July 26th. Skimmers don't seem to be around a whole lot. Instant files, they found one on the 18th, right? And then, I mean, how many times have we seen like a skimmer where the news article always says, "Oh yeah, there was, by the way, one found a week ago, or you know, a couple days ago in this other place." It's because it's kind of how these work, right? Is a group comes in, they put on skimmers at several places, and then they collect what they can, they start getting caught, and then they leave. Or, you know, the people who do it get caught, they do a little bit of time, and they get sent back to wherever they came from. And it's just kind of a rotating process. It's kind of the cost of doing business with skimmer attacks. So compromise, putting these on takes literally seconds. Exfiltration, we don't know. It could have been minutes or hours or days, depending on the technology that was used. Discovery, again, it is unclear how long it's been there. Probably days, but we're not really sure. Containment happened in, after they discover it, we'll say minutes, because probably no one used it after it was discovered. This is, well, yeah. And notification, I guess, is happening whenever this article was published, which was 17 July 26. Okay. 17 July 26. Okay. The victim was the bank, TSB Bank. I know nothing about this bank, so let's see what we can find. Come on, TSB Bank. Yeah, it'd be interesting. The skimmer criminal ecosystem would be a really interesting one to study in detail. I really wonder. I wonder if there's any academic papers on it, some like sociology type papers. I don't know. I think car break-ins are probably more crimes of opportunity, right? Like someone with criminal intent is walking around and then they see the laptop sitting. Like we used to code tons of laptops stolen out of cars. And I mean, we don't see it as much in the news anymore, but we still get it from partners who have to report errors or those kinds of actions as a breach. Where like people just leave their laptops sitting on their car seat and then they go they leave and someone breaks the window, takes it. Sometimes, but often done by rings. Really, I'd be interested to see. Do you have like a news article about kind of car break-ins being done by rings? The interesting thing is a lot of times, like the skimmers, I think, are not local rings. So it'd be interesting to see if car break-ins are local or kind of international. Because a lot of times when we code skimmers, the article says if they catch the persons, they catch blah 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 who entered the country illegally, yada yada yada. Sometimes they're literally ferried over the border. They come in from normally Eastern Europe or something. They come in, install skimmers for a while, and then they either get caught or they leave, and then a new group. It's like a very rotational thing. It's like being put on temporary travel duty, something. Anyway, TSB Bank, retail. I guess that's what they go by is TSB Bank. In the UK, it's not a surprise. You normally don't refer to streets in the US as high streets. But it looks like they have presence in the US. Okay, so how many employees? So this is like not a bank I've heard of. It's 8,500 based off of their Wikipedia page. Okay, so does that, well, it's 8,500 employees. This is maybe updated when? When was the last time this article was updated? And does it say at the bottom? It was edited 2019. I wonder when that number is from. Is that in the article anywhere? No. Okay, well, we'll put them at 1,000 to 10,000, but I tend to believe that a company like this probably grew substantially in that period. Bank. Commercial banking 522110. Oh, did not grab that. Okay, here, let's try this again. There we go. Locations affected 1, and I'm pretty sure this was Cleveland. It said T-Side Live, Middleborough FC. This did not sound like U.S. things. And we got the GDPR pop-up. Okay. About us. Try to figure out where this is. So, okay, it's in the side. Okay, so where is T-Side? I am just not familiar with the location. Teesside. It's just in the UK. Around Middleborough at Teesside is a conurbation. That's a new word for me. Around Middleborough on the River Tees in northeast England. Okay. So we want United Kingdom is under Great Britain. And that is going to be, let's see, where is Western Europe? There we go. States, then is Middleborough a region? I remember we looked at regions in the UK and it was not as clear as I'd maybe hoped. Like the, see, 3166-2 for the Great Britain. Let's try that. Well, here we want on this side. 3166-2 for Great Britain. So that's how they're listed. Gee, let's have, I know that. I want specifically Great Britain's. Okay, so these are alpha 3s. What about alpha 2s? England has boroughs. I guess here, okay. No, these are all still alpha 3s, so I guess England uses alpha 3s. It was near middle, what was it? Middlesbrough. So this would be something like this, I guess. It's a unitary authority. Okay. No secondaries. It's our victim information. The action was physical. It's a skimmer. And if it's known that there's a camera involved, to monitor, like take pictures of zip codes being put in or something. There are a lot of ads on this page. Then you choose surveillance. Okay. Contact Cleveland Police. Okay. Place your hand if you're suspicious. Okay, so your hard disk drive. Its results. The police have a lot of recommendations. They don't really say if there was a camera, do they? Police found so credit cards and machine device attached to it. Okay. Vector, victim, grounds. Sounds like it was outside of it. This was used to exfiltrate data. The actor is external. These are normally organized crime. Financially motivated. We don't know the country that they came from. The asset was, in this case, variety was one terminal. ATM. And we put one in here a lot of times, but probably this is a bias in our data set because the news articles always talk about the one that they found because they find them incrementally. You know, this mentions, by the way, we found one somewhere else, but they don't really say, they can't come out and say, oh, you know, the same group installed 5 of these. You know, and the 5 that got installed really got installed on 5 different victims. And so, you know, we would probably code them separately anyway, but the reality is it's kind of one breach with 5 victims or X number of victims and X number of assets. But it has something to do with, it's just the way we code it that makes the ATMs come out a little lower. This is IT, we don't know operating system. The asset was in Great Britain though. Attribute, data disclosure, we're going to say yes, because this has been around for a while and they don't know how long. We don't know how much, but would have been payment data. This would be customer data. Okay. I'm going to copy that off, put it in my reading list. Thank you for the link. Oh. Here. Did I copy it right? Oh, okay, yes I did, but I didn't. All right. Here we go. Okay. Thank you. Add it to my reading list up here. Okay. Customers, and then this was, we would mark this as processed. It's kind of how we use it for skimmers. Data abuse, we would believe so because that's why they're skimming it. It's not like someone just accidentally discovered it. Partner data, no. I need to get better about marking partner data, no. Though, yeah. And that was really it. This was opportunistic. We just want the money. External, variety, discovery method. Does it say who discovered it? Police later found the attempt to steal. This was an attempt to steal the card, and the machine had a device attached to it. Okay. Report a card had become stuck in an ATM. Huh. Okay. Cash machine. So the way they discovered it is the card got stuck in it. So customer really reported it. And this one, you know, there's a value chain here. There's the development of, let's say other, if I can find it. Physical skimmers, which have to match the device that they're being placed on pretty specifically. Then there's distribution services, other, physically distributed by actor. The actor has to go around and physically install them. Targeting, again, is other. The actor must install or must find ATMs that match the skimmer. So you've got to target. Oh, and this should have been, I want to move this to remove this. This really is a distribution service, not a non-distribution service. Keep forgetting that they're in that order. Other physical distribution, and then cash out is going to be it's going to be fraud or stolen goods more than likely. And then we don't know how the money would be laundered or if it would be laundered. We'd expect it though. So let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Make sure everything is going okay over here. Yep. And with that, the impact, I mean, it's really nothing to the organization. The company removes it and then goes, well, that's gone. Maybe notifies people and issues a couple of credit cards. This is a physical breach by an external actor on a terminal asset breaching confidentiality. And we're going to validate it. Save that. That's 2 down. Add a new tab here. I'm going to add another one for the next file. And then we could go on, we could close this one out. Simple as that. Then let's see what's next. Skimmer, and then Flight Council investigates recent data breach. Okay. It's a pretty vague statement there. Oh, and the article doesn't exist. So we can search for this, but this may be a no-show. Okay. Let's see, where was our window here where we are searching? Go back to Google. Flight Council. Flight Council data breach, maybe. Council blunder exposes data. This was in March of 2017. Which matches kind of when this happened. So let's see. Here is really the article about it. See, hopefully this has some more detail. Residents, oh, come on. Residents in Flight have had their private details leaked on the internet in a massive security breach by the council. They confirmed that the email addresses of people who took part in a recent consultation had been posted to its website the weekend. So again, another error. However, victims say details also included mobile phone numbers, home addresses, and personal comments on a number of council issues. Ouch. Brian Watson, the Flight Orders for Dog Control Action Group. Oh man, it never ceases to amaze me the different groups that exist for people to expend energy in. The Flight Orders for Dog Control Action Group. No, it's kind of like the concept of space, and that, you know, if there is space, it will be. Yeah, the Fafta ish thing. Well, I'm learning about them now. They've been monitoring the website as he awaited the results of a recent survey. Not only does he belong to the group, he is significantly enough involved that he was watching the website, waiting for this to come up. Yeah, I hear that this is one of the factions in Star Wars. Right? It's the Flight Order. To be honest, you could actually probably make some kind of argument. The name is so good. You know, the Flight Orders for Dog Control Action Group. Like, as long as you could explain away the dog control portion, that would be a legitimate faction within Star Wars. So, and I joke about him watching this, but like, I'm watching for a MIT book on cognitive psychology to be published, and I'm just like waiting to buy it as soon as it comes out. That and another stats book. So we all have our interests that we watch intensely. So when he noticed the breach, he said, as a retired IT professional, I immediately tried to contact. Oh, he's retired, so he may have a little bit of time. But that's right. First attempt they made. See, this is why you don't put off the guy who tells you you have a breach, is because then he goes to the news who really likes the story. Okay, so the breach occurred on the council. Well, it's got to be pretty close because this guy was like watching daily for it. So we'll put March of 2017, which puts us in the 2018 report. We'll go with that. Security incidents confirmed. GitHub issues. This is a fun one. I mean, just because of the guy reported how they found it. We're going to not use this reference, but use the reference over here. We'll add that here to make it easier to find it again. City Council publishes PII along with survey results on website. We used to see a lot of these kind of things where like a local group of some kind would put their would like publish data of just like constituents or just some spreadsheet. They just wouldn't bother cleaning it, and they would put it on websites. So it doesn't. I haven't seen as many of them as I used to. This happened in 2017, right? Nope, out of that. Say March. Just not specify. It was notification happened in 2017, March 22nd, when the news article was published. Discovery, soon within days. Exfiltration took minutes because he downloaded and looked through it. Compromise. You know, I mean, however long. This doesn't apply. We'll just put unknown. That removes it from the sample size. And then discovery, exfiltration, compromise. Incident. So what's that? The victim is the Feld. Assume that's right. Feld Council. I have no clue who the Feld Council is. Oh, there should be you in there. but we are all going to find out. Feld Council. Council of Feld, UK. They have popular services. I mean, they have... There we go. It took a second for that to load. Okay, so... I don't understand most of these controls. Okay. Can I get that to reset? Nope. I feel someone should put a little more work into the stock template that they found. Council. I still... Okay. Mayor of... Okay, just where is Feld, UK? I guess it was on a map there, wasn't it, a second ago? Here. The borough of Feld, outside of Preston. Okay, so this is... Let's see this map. I want to make sure that it's actually... They are exactly there. That is exactly. It's just that one location. Okay. So... Yeah. They are just a little north of Liverpool. That's good to know. Okay, Western Europe. Great Britain. I've had 2 Great British ones today. Applications affected 1. Industry. This is going to be state and local government. Public administration. I mean, I guess it's a council, legislative offices. Yeah, only usable with screen reader. The council, I guess, would be a legislative body. More likely, number of employees. I'm just going to say small, without trying to figure out how many people are on the council, because that would require going back to the website. And then what? It's the borough of Feld. So if we go back to the UN 33, gosh, where is? I need another Google window. Let's see. And then we'll just search the Great British Alpha 2s, or in this case Alpha 3s again, and it was Feld one of them. So it's a borough, but I don't see it listed here. Nope. Okay, so in that case, what does it fall into? What region of country is it? Oh, I don't think I'm going to answer that one today. So we got down to the country. Actions. This was an error. So a publishing error. Oh, yeah, publish to doc or site. This sounds like carelessness. They just threw it up there. Actor, internal. We really don't know who published it there. There's no motive. It was accidental. Asset. Sounds like one spreadsheet. So, or really in this case, it's the web server that was hosted on. Cloud, I don't know. IT hosted in the UK. Let's be honest, like the chance that that website was hosted on a cloud service seems pretty low. Let's see. Sets attributes, confidentiality, data disclosed, yes. Personal data, basically, we don't really, I don't think it says how many people's data was disclosed. They always like to do that in articles, but I don't see it here. Okay. This was constituent data. It was stored. State it was stored unencrypted, really. The data was found. The data was not abused. There's no partner data involved. Attribute targeted. No, not applicable. It's an error. Discovery method, external customer, effectively. Value chain is there. It doesn't apply. Impact, insignificant. They had to take it down. Plus, it's a random assignment. This was again an error by a internal actor on a server. Compromise the confidentiality, right? Just one step. Just like in so many of them, it's just one step. So we'll save that off. Copy this, put it over here, and we have just enough time for one more. And close this one. Okay, so what's our last one here? Okay, it says Sunnyside School District accidentally. So that's 3 errors today, right? Out of that we've gotten just randomly. If you ever wonder about how often errors lead to breaches. Sunnyside School District accidentally releases employees' personal information. A pretty big mistake. Second largest school district, scrambling to make sure its employees won't be hurt. Employees' information was accidentally emailed to every Sunnyside School District employee. According to the district, at least 560 people opened it. Yeah, I know, right? Like, errors, and it's hard to say what's biggest between errors and phishing and credential reuse. But they're all in like the 20 to 30% range. But yeah, no one wants to go fix errors because I think the concept is that, like, if it's an error, then the solution is just not to make errors. And this is one of the things whenever in fact, I just did a presentation yesterday or Tuesday. And I make this point in every presentation. You can watch in the B-Sides presentations I made as well, is that nothing is perfect. And then, I mean, we all know this, like, conceptually, but practically we rarely apply it because we expect perfection. We expect it out of people or tools or processes. And in reality, nothing is perfect. And so it's important to be prepared for that failure, right? And so you can't just simply say the solution to errors is to not make errors. That doesn't work because that just is like saying, hey, be perfect, which doesn't work. And so instead it makes the plan for it. And the reality is, like, businesses plan for it, right? That's what process improvement is. But do we ever do that in security? Rarely. And so security could learn a lot from just process improvement. So, by the way, I have a hard stop, and so I need to get on to this one and get it done. GitHub confirmed. This happened in August 12th of 2017, or May 2017. So we'll put in the 2018 corpus. School district emails employee PII to all other employees. Oh, and that should be down in the summary, not the reference. I always miss those two because they're like the two free text for fields that we fill out. So confidence, I mean, yeah, it seems pretty cut and dry. Not that we use confidence a lot. It's a very subjective measure, but you know, let's go to try to get it right. Okay. How to protect themselves. So this happened maybe March 3rd. Employees March 3rd, about the exact minute. So this happened in 2017, March 3rd at 01:11:00 p.m. I would assume it's not a.m. They don't say. Let's go. I'll have to watch Kelly's presentation. Let's see. Compromise took minutes to email out. Minutes to send an email. Assume discovery happened within hours because they had containment. I mean, like, how do you contain it? I guess they kind of had it contained as much as possible. within days. Ask people not to open it, things like that. Notification happened on the 6th, it looks like. 2017, 03, 06. The notifications don't really matter a lot, but sometimes in the past, once or twice, we've gone back and looked. So this is the Tucson, which Sunnyside Unified School District. And how many employees do they have? Let me count. School district. They say anything about the number of employees? Not here, at least. And I don't have a lot of time to dig through this. Some students. Okay, so they're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 schools, so they have to be over 100 employees. We're just, how about they? Over 1,000 is the question. I'm going to say that they're likely a large, because it says they're the second biggest, and we'll just leave it at that. Elementary and secondary schools. 1, United States, North America, and then US AZ. Victims, and then the action was in another error and a misdelivery. This time by email. It's unknown. I mean, again, it's carelessness. Like, someone manually sent this out. Actor, internal, we really don't know who. I don't think we know who. It doesn't say who sent it, is it? Employment, at least opening on the employee, suddenly emailed. Employee, kind of personal information. Human resource department. My test salary, my home address, my social. Wow, that was all the information. Okay. Tess spent Friday deleting the information from everyone's email. Said the district knows who opened the emails and the 4 people who forwarded them will be contacted. Okay. Motive, there's no motive for error. Close that. Asset was a mail server. Server mail. Assume 1. We don't know about if it's a cloud service. I mean, we know that the emails were open or not, and so that kind of leads to maybe a web app of some type, but it's not. Or maybe, but I mean, it could be a domain thing. Like, we don't really know. In the United States, set confidentiality, disclosure, yes. Data total, there were at least 2,000 people, it says. So people, variety, this was again personal information of employees. Stored unencrypted. Data abuse, it doesn't sound like it. Partner data, no. Close that. Targeted, not applicable. Discovery method, sounds like it was discovered by victims or by someone involved in the incident. No value chain because it's an error. Insignificant. They had to pull back the emails to do something, but it's not costing them any money, right? Plus, this was a random assignment, and this was again an error by an internal actor on a server asset. Compromised confidentiality. That we can mark it validated and copy it off. Well, save it off. And with that, we're done. I'm going to end a little bit early so that I can make my next meeting. But thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Remember, plan for imperfection, of course. And then I will see you again next Tuesday, hopefully. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.